Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the channel once again. These right here are the comics that I ordered in December of 2025. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, but I've amassed enough comics over the last few months to where I felt like I could do a video like this and have a lot of fun with it. And this isn't every comic that I ordered, since I've done that last video, but I will be reviewing some of those comics in various different forms. So, without further ado, let's get into it because I am excited. Alright, starting off with box number 1, we have the one and the only comic I've been looking forward to for a very long time. Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 5. I got the DM cover of this and I am super excited. Take a look at that spine. It's gorgeous and it'll go right with the other Ultimate Spider-Mans I already have on my shelf. So this volume ends it all in the most satisfying way that you can ever ask for. What's so impressive about this volume in this series is really how consistent it was. Like, I wasn't huge on the comics found in the last volume. I think some of them are good, some of them not so great. But this comic is so special because of its consistency for the most part. 150 issues. A mostly consistent creative art team. That's just incredible, man. That's something special. Are you kidding me? So, having this book, ooh, that smell. Having this book and having all of this together is really cool. I mean, come on. So let's take a look at the cover. We've got Spider-Man, Peter there, going up against all of his villains, the ultimate versions, of course. I know there's a new Ultimate Spider-Man now, but this is the biggest, and it's probably going to be the best, to be honest, with how that series is shaping up. Spoiler alert for this series. Obviously, I'm going to have to spoil a little bit. It's kind of hard to get into Volume 5 of the series and, just have a basic pitch. So spoiler alert, click off the video, go to the next, when I have the next book up, if you're concerned about getting spoiled for this series. But it says here, The Death of Spider-Man. And that's what this is. There's another omnibus volume called The Death of Spider-Man that's been out for years. And it's basically the same content. Here you have the Marvel team-up issues. Ultimate Spider-Man team-up issues, as you can see on this dust jacket cover. Let's crack it open, see what's going on here. As you can see here, you have, Spider-Man with Captain America, who's a total asshole in this series, by the way. With Iron Man, with, so many great superheroes here. That's what you're going to want to come to this book for. It's the characters, of course it is. All in all, though, just a absolutely gorgeous ending to a series with a lot of really fun extras. If you are interested in reading this book, I say go for it, man. Like, the team-up issues, they're not essential, so if you get the other volume as well, that's perfectly fine. I just wanted that little Volume 5 on there to really, end out the book. But this is a great one, man. A really fun series. That ending, as I mentioned, it just gets me every time. That's one of the best, most emotional moments in comics to me to this day, since I read it as a kid, and it was always something special. It still is. Reading this back, I imagine. One of my most anticipated omnibus, and of course it's Spider-Man. But let's get going with the next book on my list. Now, what is this book? You might be wondering, right? Well, it's one that a lot of people don't really know about. One of the best autobiographical comics that I've ever read. And this was super influential to me when I was younger. I don't even know how I happened across this comic. It's not the type of thing I usually read, but I just loved the writing of Mr. J.M. DeMatteis from reading his Spider-Man run when I was very young. So, of course, I started to seek out other stuff by him. I started to realize that he was just someone I really connected with. And hopefully, as I introduce to you this next book, you will see why. Here it is. Brooklyn Dreams. Now this one, This is a masterpiece. It's not Marvel, it's not DC, it's not even Image. It's from Dark Horse Comics, this beautiful hardcover. And as the blurb says here, it's a coming-of-age classic. It's really just a non-fiction perspective on James DeMatteis' early life as he grew up, what formed him into the man that he would eventually become. All in is a beautiful format. Let me take a second just to take you through the pages of Brooklyn Dreams, because it is a fantastic series that I'm sure if you hear my pitch, if you hear me out, you'll love it, because it's got a ton of heart, it's impactful, it's kind of crazy as well. Like, I'm like, damn, this really happened to you, Mr. DeMatteis? And I wasn't sure about it, but I guess so, right? If what he's telling us is to be believed, and I do believe him, his life is crazy. I love Brooklyn Dreams so much. I'd put it way up there on my list of comics of all time. Top of this massive bookshelf behind me. So if that gives you some indication of how good this series is, man, come on, you owe it to yourself to check it out. I hope that if you guys ever check this book out, you'll find it to be magic like I've found it. But to be fair, I am biased. Alright, man, I'm more than excited to just get looking at these comics. First and foremost, in box number 2, we have Batman Ego and Other Tales. Now, this book is wonderful, man. If you don't know about this Batman comic, oh man, you, my friend, are in for a treat, let me tell you that much, because this is done by the late, great Darwyn Cooke. And it's not just Batman Ego that's collected in here either. There's lots of great stories in here, man. Obviously, this is the deluxe edition. I think they're making Absolute as well. So if you love the stories that much, go and check it out. Me, I really like Ego. I'm not huge on any of the other Batman stories that Darwyn Cooke did. They're all good. They're all entertaining. But Ego's really where it's at. On the back, it says that we have 8 classic tales of the Dark Knight from a true comics legend, taken from us too soon. That is Mr. Darwyn Cooke there. It's unfortunate that he's gone, because, I mean, you'll see why, man. You'll see why he's so great in just a moment. Honestly, I think this little blurb on the dust jacket itself speaks more clearly than I ever could. A dark knight pitted against his most terrifying enemy, himself. That's absolutely true. It is very classy. You love to see that, man. You've got, what the hell is that? Can I hold on. Oh, it's the demon. Sorry, I had to turn it to the light to see it. I don't know if, there we are. You can see his little eyes in the upper right hand corner there. But it's a demon inside Batman's mind, Bruce Wayne's mind, that he has to fight throughout this issue. And other than that, just very simple dust jacket, but it does the job. It does it well, man. What more can you ask for? Let's take a look under the dust jacket, crack it open, and see what is happening in this wonderful story that stood the test of time, and find out what's so great about it. Let's take a look. Batman Ego and Other Tales, all in all, it's great. Like, as you could probably tell, this review is fucking glowing. It's just a wonderful little one-shot that helps to explore the darkness that's inside Batman. It kind of goes to answer that age-old question, is Batman Bruce Wayne? Which one is the real identity of himself? And it'll show that internal conflict, because maybe he's not so sure at sometimes. And it's just a wonderful story in the pursuit of finding what it means to have complications within yourself and how to work it, things out within yourself. I can understand talking to yourself, understanding what it really means to live within yourself and understand your trauma, understand where you're coming from, understand where you're going, come to terms with your sins, understanding whether you can live with what you've done. If you can't, what happens next, right? It's a great story handled with, just wondrous care by Darwyn Cooke here, one of the greatest cartoonists of our times. And he deserves a great quality book here, man. But moving on now to the next and final comic on the list today. Let me show you the spine in case I haven't done that. It's a beautiful one. It really is. Let me go on to the next book we're talking about today, because we got just one more left, and it's not going to be a big discussion here, but, you know, it's continuing to collect a series that is absolutely wonderful, and I've got something to say about it. About this series, Vinland Saga. Alright, let's get serious. Let's get serious, man. Come on. Vinland Saga, one of the greats. Masterpiece of our time. I gotta control myself here. I gotta control my thoughts. Vinland Saga, right? Wonderful story. But we have a lot of idiots that surround us daily that just don't seem to quite get it. Now, why is that? What's happening here? Why are idiots unable to comprehend that Vinland Saga is a banger? Great anime, great manga, masterpiece, right? Now, I have heard the complaints from people who are, you know, even close to my heart, in my inner circle, that Vinland Saga is just for elitists. People who want to feel like they're above, you know, just simple action. What do I think about that? What does Mr. Ideas Like Clockwork think about that? Well, let me tell you, dear viewer, I think it's some bullshit. What do you mean you're so unable to comprehend a masterpiece of a series like Vinland Saga that you've resorted to utter slander? I think we've gotten to a point where people, if a series has a point and it goes to great lengths to make that point, it's regarded as lesser than its competition. You know, why watch Vinland Saga or read Vinland Saga when I can, you know, turn my brain off and watch Solo Leveling or Jujutsu Kaisen or anything like that? I love those series. I'll watch them. I'll watch them, man. For sure I will. But can we be serious? They're not on the level of something like Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga is a top series. Now, anyone who is looking for an unbiased review is slowly realizing that that's not what they're going to get. But that's okay. What they're going to get is a great series. Vinland Saga is a masterpiece. And this deluxe edition format, it's been a while since I've got one. I think they're slowing down. It's beautiful. This is like embossed on here. The actual book, it's 3-in-1 volumes as opposed to the 2-in-1 volumes you can buy elsewhere here in America. Great series. It's got the maps. It's got great action, which I'll go through in a moment here. Just wonderful all around. But I'm getting distracted from my point because I wanted to prove something here, my friends. The point for a series to commit to something, it has to be able to take its time to flesh out the concepts, to address a topic that has not been explored thoroughly in other ways. Now, Vinland Saga, if you don't know, it's a story about Vikings, and it's rooted in history, but there's a lot that's not realistic, right? For the sake of, you know, our enjoyment. Like, some people, like Thorkel, are super strong, and Thor's even. And there's crazy fights, and there's crazy people in this world. However, the story is very simple. It's about finding oneself trapped in violence and learning how to come to terms with oneself. Kind of similar to Batman Ego, but taking it to the next level. I think that's why I love it so much. And then understanding that it doesn't have to be this way, and completely doing a 180. If you just watch season 1, the whole journey is this child getting wrapped up in violence and contempt and anger and revenge, and then when he finally, you know, has the opportunity to get that revenge, it's robbed from him. And he doesn't know what the hell he can do in his life. He has no idea. He's completely lost. So he kind of just goes back to factory settings. He becomes a slave on this farm. And that's when the story starts, my friends. And this is also where people start to say that, oh, people who are obsessed about character arcs and think things are deep when it's not actually deep. No. You're a bastard. Hold on. Let's talk about this. See, what you're doing there is you're not being fair, alright? Vinland Saga is a story about forgiving oneself, about understanding that there are no enemies in this world except the ones that come from within yourself. And that's not something that's easy to illustrate, even on a basic level. It's a slow burn. Yeah, it's a slow burn at times. I just know the people who are ripping this apart. Watch season 1, loved only the fighting, understood only the fighting, got into season 2, no fighting, limited fighting. They're like, oh hell no, I want Thorfinn to throw hands, and he's not doing that. So I don't know what to do with this series. Are we being dead ass right now? I'm all over the place right now. But what I want to say, I think, is that for a series to really say anything of genuine, concrete value that has not been explored on any other path, it has to find itself. It has to take its time. It has to watch the characters, see where they go, where their journey takes them. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the magic happens. I don't mean it literally. There are moments in here, double spreads in here, that make me go, damn, Makoto Yukimura. That's some beautiful shit right there. So, in short, to love a journey, you have to love the characters. And to love the characters, you have to love more than the fighting. And to love more than the fighting, you've got to be more than a solo leveling fan. I know. Tragic, right? Now you've seen what a great story Vinland Saga is. I do hope you'll go out, you'll purchase it, you'll tell all your friends about it. Watch the show. The anime's great. Read the books. The books are great. Just consume the story in some way, because it's a great one. I think, you know, anyone out there can get something about this, can relate to its own life. And if you're reading a story about someone's life and you're not relating it to your own life, you're missing the entire point of what to do when consuming a great story, when understanding fiction, when, you know, fuck, just read it, man. Love me some Vinland Saga, man. Thank you guys so much for showing up for this whole video. Let me show off the books that we ordered this month one last time. Without further ado, my mans, be seeing you.